Are you looking at new construction and you think you've got it figured out? Well, I've got 3 tips about some things that you might not be thinking about when you're purchasing a brand new home from the builder. I'm Ron Wysokarski at Wise Home Team Realty, and I'm looking for different ways to help you with your new construction purchase. So the first thing I want to talk about on your new construction purchase is the freebie on the closing costs if you use their lender. This can be good for you if you don't have a preferred lender and you're willing to use the builder's lender, and those free closing costs, well, they are certainly tempting, but read the fine print. Let's find out what the defined closing costs are and make sure that we're not artificially increasing your interest rate maybe to make up for that, or adding in some fees to cut into that piece. Those free closing costs may not be as free as they seem. So you may want to go to your bank or your preferred lender and the builder's lender. And let's compare those. You're allowed to check your interest rates. Anytime you have a credit hit during a 30-day period, it's going to count as one. So you can shop for an interest rate on your home purchase. And why wouldn't you? You're going to be spending the next 30 years writing those checks out. And even 1/8% can make a $20,000 difference over the life of the loan. So you may save a few thousand at closing, but you may pay for it, well, the rest of your life. So I want to make sure, take a look, read the fine print, put them side by side. Make sure that those free closing costs are really free. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is the actual closing date. You may write up a deal with a builder, especially if it's a move-in home or an express home and you're thinking, I need to move by, let's say, October 1st, and you sign that contract thinking you're moving that day. Maybe the home that you're currently living in, and let's say you're selling it, and you're gonna close that day and have that money, and all your worldly possessions are on a moving truck, and you're hoping to close that day on October 1st. And as you get a little bit closer to it, you suddenly realize that there's been delays with the builder. Maybe unexpected. Let's say there's a lot of rain and they couldn't finish up some of the work, or the driveway wasn't setting in, or the landscape wasn't in, or something wasn't quite right. There are things that cause a closing date on new construction, even at the very end, to get pushed out a little bit. We don't want you homeless when you sell your home on September 30th and suddenly have to wait an extra week. So we want to make sure that, number one, you've got a place to stay. And by the way, what about your stuff? So if you're thinking of using like a pod system where your stuff's going to go into storage and it can go there for a day or a week or a month, you're just paying a little extra storage, and then we just have to worry about where you're going to stay. What happens if you don't have a place to stay and there's no place for your stuff either? I mean, at some point, that moving truck might want to be emptied out. So if you're renting one, you may pay some additional rent in the moving truck. If it's a service, well, they've got to take it someplace. So you don't want to pay them to put it on the truck and then take it back off the truck and put it back into a house and out of a house. We don't want any double moves here. So we want to make sure that we're looking at that closing date. And as much as we want to nail it down, there's things that make it move around a little bit. So that could be a little stressful when you're getting ready for the closing date. Let's hope we get that nailed down. You definitely want your representative, your personal representative, your agent, to be working hand in hand with you to manage that closing date and to keep everybody on track as much as possible. The last thing we want to talk about is inspections. Most builders will talk about having 1 or 2 walkthroughs in the last 30 days before closing to work on, their punch list, the items that's needed to get the house ready, get the certificate of occupancy, and pass everything that you would want to see passed with regard to the quality of the build to make sure it's complete. A little hidden gem here is that while there's a couple of walkthroughs usually with the builder, you're well within your rights to hire a home inspector. If you're going to spend $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on a brand new home, why not invest another few $100s in a home inspection? Have them check everything. A second set of eyes on there that's not the builder, but your personal representative as a home inspector licensed by the state of Florida who doesn't really have an interest in the transaction financially from the sale. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out if there was something a little bit off with the way the AC system was put in? Or maybe there was something missed on the roof. Maybe it wasn't strapped down properly. What if they missed one of those? Getting that wind mitigation report from your home inspector is going to save on your insurance, and you might save enough on the insurance alone to help pay for the cost of that inspection. But the worst thing of it is, what if the builder missed it and you missed it, but the home inspector caught it? You've got time to get it corrected. So when you buy that brand new home, it really is a brand new home and it's in great condition, and you can put that worry to rest. Hey, at the end of the day, if you spend a few $100 extra to make sure that it's a great purchase for the price that you got and they found nothing, that'd be awesome. chances are they'll find at least one thing, but I want you to have that peace of mind that when you're buying new construction, that it's going to be everything that you want, so you can love it the rest of the time that you're going to be there and make it a great purchase. So there's my 3 hidden tips of things about new construction you might not be thinking about. This is Ron Wysokarski at Wise Home Team Realty, and if you like what you're seeing, follow us, subscribe, click below, check us out at ronsellsthebeach.com. We appreciate it.